Today I'm sitting here with Diana, who is an account manager and lead technical recruiter, as well as with Lumi, who is our recruitment consultant. So can you both tell us a little bit about what you do for WTS Energy?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So I'm Lumi. I've been with WTS for about 2 years and a half now. I do a lot of technical recruitment in different markets, mostly across Europe. Different industries such as engineering, infrastructure, also energy industry, conventional energy, so oil and gas, but also renewables. I manage some of the key accounts, primarily in the Netherlands.
Nice. And how about you, Diana?
Hi, everyone. My name is Diana. I've been with WTS for 2.5 wonderful years. I'm a technical recruiter, as Lumi mentioned, and an account manager. That means I manage some of WTS accounts. I keep in touch with the clients, their needs, hiring needs, and so on. I recruit in the construction industry, heavy civil infrastructure type of projects, renewable and oil and gas.
Okay. And so what brings you both here to the Netherlands?
So we're here visiting a couple of key clients in the Netherlands in the maritime and, shipbuilding and oil and gas, which is technically still maritime. And also one of the engineering companies for oil and gas that we work with. So we're here on relationship building.
Okay. And so, well, I know that you've told me that some of the clients you're visiting have worked for WTS Energy for many years.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say makes those types of relationships successful?
Well, I believe that building a strong business relationship consists of, consistency with the client, understanding their hiring needs, and being with them through all the changes that they go through, and just being more than a recruitment agency, being their partner.
Yeah, so even in an age where we are constantly on our laptops and phones, it's still important to be face to face with the client.
Particularly in this age, I would say.
I mean, recruitment is a people business. It's more than just finding the right candidate for the job. It's understanding people, their preferences, their needs, and finding the best for both candidates and the client.
Yeah. And have there been any interesting conversations or insights from clients that surprised you?
I wouldn't say it surprised us because obviously we're very in touch with the market, so we're quite aware on the trends and also on the challenges. But I think that some of the things that virtually every client has in common is that they're always struggling with something. Of course, then it depends what that is, depending on the business, depending on the type of profiles that they need. But it's always something, and some things, of course, there will be a little bit market specific. So there will always be differences, for example, between the Dutch market, the US market, the Romania market. At the end of the day, everyone wants to attract the best fit for their roles.
Yeah.
And from here, that comes with a number of challenges because on the other side, you've got the candidates with their expectations. And right now, the market is pretty good for some type of profiles, which makes our job as mediators challenging but interesting.
And challenging on other type of profile markets. So it's just finding the middle ground and just making the candidate understand how the market works, and also the client understand some of the talent pools, how things work, and attracting top talent needs a bit of more effort now than ever. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what we're here for, to help clients solve their problems.
Exactly.
So you're both active in different industries and markets. So I was wondering, are there any differences in candidate expectations or hiring trends between the two markets that you guys look at?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the fundamentals are there when it comes to recruitment, but yes, there are differences between some markets. For example, in offshore oil and gas, people are focusing on the safety measures that the clients offer them, the companies. I don't know, the stability of the company, how they are perceived on the market. And for example, in the construction, renewable, people are looking for long-term projects, the possibility of promotion, work-life balance. So yes, there are a lot of differences.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of understanding the candidate's need and just match them with the best opportunity for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would add maybe some cultural differences as well.
Geographical differences, yes.
One market to another. For example, in the Netherlands, what we notice is that people tend to be quite stable. So changing jobs for them is not always a straightforward decision. So you need to really understand their motivation for doing that and see how that fits into what your client can offer and the overall company culture as well.
Yeah.
Another thing that we notice, very specific to the Dutch market, is that people tend to want to work very, very close to their homes. Mm-hmm. They don't particularly like to commute, which poses a different type of challenge.
Yeah.
Whereas in other markets, people tend to commute really long distances and don't really have an issue with that.
Or even relocate. For example, in the United States, people are completely fine with moving from one state to another for the right company, which they perceive the right company for them, and for a good opportunity, or especially if the project is of high profile, of national importance, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so some are willing to relocate more easily, and some
and others not.
Don't. Yeah.
And for the commute, so I had an interesting conversation with a candidate in France for a job in Paris.
Yeah.
And when we were discussing location and whether that works for him, he went like, "Oh yeah, I just live 200 kilometers away from Paris, so that's perfect for me."
It's a doable commute, I can do that.
And I was like,
"Are you sure?"
and then he was saying that, "Oh no, I actually live quite close to the station, so we have the TGV, which takes me to Paris in about an hour. So for me, that's completely fine."
Okay, yeah.
And same thing with the UK market. People there tend to be quite mobile.
Flexible. Yes.
Particularly consultants, they are really comfortable traveling long distances or even staying overnight if they need to be in the office in a hybrid setup. Whereas in other markets like the Netherlands or even Italy, we don't really see that type of flexibility.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting to hear about kind of what are the different expectations that candidates might have when it comes to job offers.
But again, you never know. So that's why when you talk to a candidate, especially on the first try, you need to find out as much as you can about their personal circumstances, what they prefer, because sometimes even though, never make assumptions. You never know. Yeah. Sometimes people are willing to relocate even though initially you thought that would not be the case.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there is the financial element, which is always important when making a decision about a job. And here we see some differences as well. We see some markets where, and some industries where candidates are very money-driven, let's say, and the financial aspect becomes very, very important. And then we see other instances where people maybe care more about the project or, generally about other aspects. Yeah. So we have this project, Neptune Deep, that we're working on in Romania, which is a huge project, biggest natural gas development in Southeast Europe. Yeah. And we've come across a number of instances where people really, really want to join the project just because they are very excited about it. It's a very important project. Yeah, so the financial becomes a little bit side discussion, so to speak. Yeah. Of course, it's still there, but it's not as important.
And they're more flexible when it comes to, again, you need to find out what makes them tick, what's very important to them, and based on that, find the best opportunity for them.
By talking to them, I guess, by communicating.
Yes, the initial conversation is very important,
Yeah.
but also it's very important to keep in touch with them, to keep the talent pool active. And even though they're, for example, not looking at the moment, if you keep in touch with them, you never know what might come on the long run. They might want to change and they can reach you. So it's very important, as you said, the human touch, it's there in recruitment, and it's a very important part of it.
Yeah, very interesting. I think that kind of also goes into what I wanted to ask now. It's what are some of the biggest hiring challenges that you're currently seeing? And, well, how do you both go about solving these? So, I mean, you mentioned some differences in candidate expectations.
Yes.
Right? And I think what you said, the initial conversation is very important. Do you do anything else to kind of help mitigate the challenges you're seeing?
Yeah, we do the same work with the client, of course, because that's the other half of the process.
Right, yeah.
And sometimes, not always, but sometimes clients' expectations or their assumptions of the market can be a little bit misaligned, let's say. So it's also very, very important to go to the client with the feedback from the market and explain what the challenges are, what the realities are, and see also if there can be any type of flexibility maybe, or any type of adjustments to close that gap and to better align.
Yeah.
So it's always, of course, half of it is the report, the relationship with the candidates, and then, of course, the relationship with the clients, which is paramount. And the trust element here becomes key and very, very important. So this is how we go about it. Yeah. And then we always try to find new ways to reach specific type of candidates, particularly where we're dealing with niche type of industries or niche type of roles. There's always to be something to be said about improving the reach and having a better pool of people to choose from. And sometimes you just have to get really creative about it, it seems.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so there's two sides. I mean, one is the relationship with the candidate.
And that's, sorry to interrupt, that's where the account management comes in, because it's more than just talking to the client and finding out what kind of jobs are open and just sending them the right candidates, just understanding their hiring needs, their working process, and also being more the recruitment agency, being like their business partner, just give them feedback from the market and just make them understand that for some particular roles, the highly skilled professionals that they're looking for are scarce. Yeah. And we always advise our client that, especially nowadays, the recruitment process is more than just, interviewing a candidate, because yes, you interview a candidate and you choose them because you find them to be the right fit and the best fit for what you're looking for, but it's also a choice on the candidate part. Yeah. So the client needs to bring in like their A game as well, like why would you choose me and what can I do for you as a candidate and future employee in my company.
What makes the offer interesting?
Exactly. Like why would you choose me and not another company?
Yeah. And I think the last thing would be that we're looking at more ways to increase WTS visibility overall in different industries. And this includes different things like attending industry events, which is very, very important, to always stay connected with the market and to gain as many insights as possible. And why not to also attract new business from there as well, long-term partnership. Yeah. But I think the key here is that we actually try to position ourselves as a partner, both for our clients, but also for our candidates, and just see how we can make things work for everyone and make it into a win-win type of situation. Which is
overall,
ideal.
As a company, WTS is very proactive rather than reactive. Like just post an ad and talk to a few candidates and send them across. No, we're always trying to understand the market better, understand the changes, maybe some intuitive mind, prevent some of the changes that might, because if you're aware of the market and you talk to a lot of people and you're always in touch with the clients and the candidates, then some things are preventable and you get ahead of it and you find solutions to the problems even before they arise.
I mean, especially in the markets that, well, you both work in, I think the technical aspect of it is also very important.
yes.
Understanding kind of what goes on behind the scenes, right?
Exactly, and that's why going to clients, having these face-to-face meetings is that much important, because you
Yeah.
understand better their needs, the type of candidates that they're looking for, and that makes your search better and targeted.
Yeah. Well, I think people often think that recruitment is just matching CVs to
That's
vacancies,
a common
right?
misconception.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, what does your day actually look like? Kind of like a day in the life overview.
We start with a strong coffee
That's needed.
every day,
Yeah.
and have a couple more throughout the day as well.
Yeah.
Staying on top of things, that's very important. Understanding, as I said, the client's need, trying to attract the best talent, and also being engaged. And even though, for example, as I mentioned, for skilled professionals that are in high demand, even though they are not currently looking, then you also have to be in touch with them, have a conversation once in a while, see how they're doing, and keeping them, as we say in recruitment, warm,
Yeah.
just so when something comes up or they're looking for something, then we're always there, because as for our clients, we're the business partner, we're also partners to our candidates as well.
Yeah. So like what you said, being proactive.
Exactly,
about
always.
things.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
And also understanding, and this is probably very important now that we are in the AI era,
Yeah.
that yes, there is value in AI, of course, and there are a number of things that can be developed and improved with the use of AI. But at the end of the day, when you are in the people's business,
The human touch.
that's what it comes
very
down to,
important.
That matters.
the relationship. So I think that's a big part of our focus. During the day, again, both with the clients, but also with the candidates. So it's not just looking on LinkedIn and finding CVs and then sending them to the client. Is not that at all. It's the conversations that you have with the people, establishing whether or not they also fit with the company culture, if it's the right opportunity for them as well. Using, of course, all the tools that we have at our disposal, like Vintere, the
yes.
database,
Yeah.
of course, and also other
Referrals as well.
Referrals.
networking constantly and trying
Leads,
to expand on the network as well. So yeah,
It's very dynamic. Then.
it is
yes,
always.
yes, and we don't sit around waiting for clients to call us or for the candidates to like, hey, I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
It's a lot of headhunting, talking to people, finding out the type of projects they're in, finding out new information, linking it to what you previously know in the market, and just making connections all around.
Yeah. Okay, and I just wanted to ask one more question. So, if you could give one piece of advice to companies trying to attract top talent, what would it be?
Flexibility.
Flexibility.
Think like a candidate, because as I said, it's not a matter of you choosing the candidate, it's
Right.
a matter of candidates choosing you, and you need to make yourself available, open, transparent, make them understand what you can bring and to improve their career, their life as well. So it's a two-way street, the recruitment process.
It's a little bit like a relationship. This is how I see it. So it
Yeah.
needs to work.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You need to find that common ground, and there needs to be transparency and openness on both sides, and a willingness to make it work. And quite a lot of flexibility, because we see some companies who can still be a little bit strict, a little bit rigid, maybe. And right now there is a gap between this on the client side and then the candidate side, where people want flexibility, they want more remote working, they want different things. So it's no longer just about the money.
I think we've seen that change happen quite recently, just being more flexible about like office hours and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Diana, and thank you, Lumi, for joining me today.
Thank
It was
you as
a very
well.
interesting conversation. So, yeah, it was nice to meet you guys here.
Thank you for having
Same
us.
for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.